I had always trusted Claire. I believed in the marriage we had built over 8 years. She was charming, smart, and affectionate, the kind of person who could make anyone feel special. I was the lucky one, or so I thought. The cracks started slowly. A lingering glance at her phone, the sudden importance of business dinners, a constant excuse for late nights. I kept telling myself it was normal. Trust is stubborn. Love blinds. I wanted to believe she was loyal, that our life together was real. It wasn't. The truth hit me one Thursday evening. I had come home early from work because a project was canceled, hoping to surprise her. But when I walked through the door, I noticed her purse wasn't on the hook where she always left it. Instead, there was a man's jacket folded neatly on the couch. My chest tightened. A sinking dread took over. I crept upstairs quietly. The bedroom door was ajar. From the crack, I saw them. Claire laughing, leaning against the bed, kissing another man. His hand slid casually over her shoulder like he owned the place. My mind spun. I wanted to scream, to break things, to make them feel the shock I was experiencing. But a small, colder voice whispered, "Not yet. Wait." I wanted her to feel the consequences in the moment she least expected it. That's when the idea hit me. I would create a surprise that would expose the affair in a way that she and her partner could never ignore. Something clever, something personal. Something I could control. Over the next week, I became methodical. I purchased a small, discreet device, something that could emit a sound, flashlights, and even send a short message when activated remotely. Nothing illegal, just clever. I hid it inside a compartment I had created in her favorite handbag. I made sure it would be activated only when she carried it to the apartment where she met her lover, something she did routinely. I didn't tell anyone. No one could know. The plan depended on surprise, suspense, and timing. The next Friday, I waited. Claire left the house around 7, purse in hand, smiling like everything was normal. I tracked her movements from a distance. Nothing extreme, just a phone app that allowed me to see when she reached her destination. My heart thumped like a drum. As soon as she unlocked the door and stepped inside, I pressed the activation button. The device sprang to life. Music blasted. Flashing lights bounced off the walls. A recorded message in my voice played through the tiny speaker. "Hello, Claire. And you, friend. Welcome to the consequences of betrayal." I watched from across the street, barely breathing, as chaos unfolded through the window. The man jumped back, startled. Claire shrieked, fumbling with her purse, trying to figure out what was happening. Her eyes darted around the apartment, panic spreading like wildfire. Every movement, every reaction was recorded in my memory. The device repeated the message a few more times, lights strobing with each word. The scene was almost cinematic. The man tried to calm her, but the novelty of the surprise, the audacity of it, made him falter. I stayed hidden. There was no yelling, no direct confrontation, just pure, instantaneous chaos as they realized that their actions had consequences, orchestrated by the person they had underestimated the most. I sent a few photos to myself secretly, just for proof, and then walked away. My chest was tight, my palms sweaty, but the satisfaction was undeniable. They were exposed, helpless, humiliated, but safely, legally, and cleverly. Claire returned home hours later, purse noticeably heavier with my surprise still inside. I didn't mention a word. She avoided my eyes, and I let silence speak for me. That night, I went to bed with a strange mix of relief and sorrow. I hadn't ruined her life entirely, but I had forced her to confront the truth she had been ignoring. Actions have consequences. Over the next week, the aftermath spread. Her lover distanced himself, embarrassed by the unexpected spectacle. Claire's family, who had been slightly suspicious, noticed her agitation. She had to explain, or at least try to explain, the sudden flurry of strange events. I didn't step in. I let her life unravel naturally under the weight of her decisions. I realized in that moment that revenge isn't always about anger or destruction. It can be precise, intelligent, and measured. It can teach a lesson without crossing legal boundaries, without violence. My satisfaction came not from cruelty, but from strategy, from seeing a balance restored, from knowing that deception cannot survive exposure. The following months were quiet. Claire attempted to apologize, to bridge the gap, to convince me that she had made a mistake, that it was a one-time lapse. I listened. I didn't shout. I didn't retaliate further. I had achieved my goal. The surprise had delivered the truth, and truth, once revealed, cannot be hidden again. I moved on cautiously. Trust, once broken, is never fully restored, but lessons were learned. I spent more time focusing on myself, my work, and my friendships. I learned that power in a relationship isn't about control. It's about awareness, intelligence, and the ability to respond thoughtfully when wronged. Looking back, I don't regret what I did. The device, the activation, the careful timing, all of it was a manifestation of my refusal to be a passive victim. I wasn't cruel. I wasn't violent. I was deliberate. And in that deliberation, I found closure. Claire eventually left, moving to another city. I heard rumors of her attempting to reconcile with her lover or explain her actions to friends. I didn't engage. I didn't need to. The surprise had done its work. The lesson was learned and the balance restored. Sometimes late at night, I imagine the moment she activated her own plans, thinking she could manipulate life without consequences. And I smile, because for once, in the realm of betrayal and cunning, I was the one with the upper hand. Revenge doesn't need to be loud or destructive. Sometimes it's a small, clever action that echoes in someone else's life, forcing reflection, regret, and humility. My first surprise was exactly that, brief, unforgettable, and absolute. It reminded me that deception, when handled strategically, can be corrected without stooping to hatred or vengeance for its own sake. In the end, I learned something invaluable. Intelligence and patience often outweigh brute force. Exposure, not anger, can be the most effective weapon. I didn't destroy Claire. I just ensured she couldn't continue to destroy what we had built without consequence. And in that, I found my peace, my closure, and my subtle but profound satisfaction.